Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we dive into some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, Hulu is about to start cracking down on password sharing. This follows Netflix and Disney+. Comcast may lose some channels, including an RSN. We'll tell you what's happening there. And there's a new free local TV streaming service coming soon. We got the details on an early first look on this. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First, though, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below, and in the first pinned comment, I'll put a link to each story so you can read about them for yourself there. With that said, let's dive into it, starting off with Hulu cracking down on password sharing. Recently, Netflix did that, had some good success in getting people to sign up for new accounts rather than sharing it with other people. Disney Plus has slowly been tiptoeing that direction, and now Hulu has updated its terms of service to include language that will limit streaming outside of your home and put basically a crackdown on password sharing in place. Now, not necessarily new to Hulu. If you're a Hulu Plus Live TV customer, there's always been a lot of limits about in-house versus out-of-house that make it kind of hard. Now, though, they're bringing that to the on-demand side, similar to what they're doing with Disney Plus. Exactly when that happens, we don't know. Basically, what they're doing is they're putting legal language in their terms of service that will allow them to crack down on password sharing. What's password sharing? Well, it's very simple. If I have a Netflix account and you have a Disney Plus account, and I share it with you and you share one with me, but we don't live together, that's technically in violation of the terms of service. These services say you can share accounts with people who live at the same address as you, not with your brother that lives, in the next town over or down the street even. It's supposed to be people who live in the same house together. Now, exact details on when this will happen, again, are unknown, but it seems like Disney's preparing for that to happen. If you're a Hulu customer, you should have got an email recently with some updated text, and they were quite upfront about it. They didn't try to slip it in. They were very upfront about this text being added. All right, next story up. Comcast could lose another RSN channel. The MASN, I don't know how to pronounce that channel, which is the home to the Washington Nationals and Baltimore Orioles, is in contract fight with Comcast. They have until later this month to reach a new deal, or the channel could go dark before the start of the 2024 Major League Baseball season. We'll keep a close eye on this. This comes as Comcast recently moved the Pittsburgh RSN to a higher, more expensive package. They also did that over on the West Coast with another one. It looks like Comcast is trying to move the RSNs to higher and higher packages to make it a little bit more expensive for people who want those. Sports are one of the few things people still subscribe to cable TV for. Makes sense they would want that in the most expensive package. But the downside for that RSN is it probably means fewer people paying that aren't actually watching it, which could drive down their revenue. So I'm sure that's a big part of the fight. We'll keep a close eye on this. But for now, Comcast could lose another RSN. All right, are you looking for a new free ad-supported streaming service that could offer local-focused content? Meet Zeam, Z-E-A-M. This is a new streaming service from the National Associated Broadcasters, Gray Television, and others that will bring live local news, sports, and lifestyle programming from 300 local TV stations, covering 80% of all markets out there. This service is about to have a massive marketing push, including a Super Bowl commercial. Kind of surprised for a new free ad-supported streaming service. But with this, it will offer you the ability to watch local news where you live and around the country. They say they're going to have some very unique ways to help you discover hyper-local content, interesting things happening, custom-made channels, and more with that. Now, similar to what we've seen with other services like Local Now, Haystack, News On, and others have focused very heavily on local news. Now, though, this is a new one, Zeam, with it. Now, we're seeing that really pop up. And why are we seeing so many local news ones? Fox Local, I think, is another one that the Fox broadcast stations some of them are adapting out there to put their content in. Well, local news is still one of the things people really want to watch from locals, and they're often looking for ways to do that without having to pay for ABC, NBC, Fox, which is expensive. That's why we've seen a growing number of streaming services bring their launch to bring local content to you. It's also really nice if you live in an area but you're from another. Let's say when I lived in Texas but I'm from Michigan, it is sometimes nice to be able to use these services to access content back in Michigan. Now, this won't bring you content not just from Gray Television-owned stations, but Cox and others. 300 TV stations at launch will make their content available. Now, a little disclaimer here, they have not announced details on when it will launch. They say coming soon, they'll give some details on when it will launch. We'll keep a very close eye on this and let you know once we hear anything. All right, deal of the day. If you want to upgrade your Fire TV to be even more powerful, the Fire TV Remote, the Pro version, which allows you to do things like programmable buttons and other features, is on sale right now with that. With this remote, you can connect it to most new Fire TVs and other devices to give you the ability to have improved controls, more options, more controls over your TV, etc. for things like inputs, volume, and channels, but also the ability to have programmable buttons is the real selling point here. Check it out, link in the show notes at its lowest price ever down there. All right, if you're a YouTube TV customer, you may have noticed the picture looks a little bit better, and it is. YouTube TV is rolling out updates they've confirmed to Core Cars News. That includes improving feeds for some smaller channels like Start TV to get better picture quality, but also to bring the enhanced 1080p 60 frames per second feed. Now, this rolled out on YouTube last year. It brings a higher bit rate and higher frames per second, which means there's more data here. And things like sports looks a lot better. Ability to throw a football across the screen and make it look a lot more smooth as the puck slides across the ice or the basketball bounces across the court would look a lot better. Now YouTube TV is getting this feature. It's rolled out to multiple devices, and YouTube has told Core Cars News all devices eligible for 4K upscaling on the YouTube TV app will get this new enhanced 1080p. You don't have to do anything. If it's available, it will automatically upgrade you to that improved higher quality image. Again, the thing you'll really notice the difference here is sports. Beyond that, it's probably going to look very similar, but when you see rapid motion on the screen, action movies and similar, nope, let's back that up. I have to figure out why this happens, but with that, sometimes it jumps. See, live, everybody, this is what live looks like sometimes. But sometimes when you're moving the ball, it can look very choppy, and this will allow it to not look so choppy. It will allow it to look a lot smoother and cleaner when you're watching sports. So keep an eye out for that coming from YouTube TV and rolling out to everybody. Sling Free Stream is now coming with 15 new channels. This week they added 15 new channels, including things like Real Life and the talk show channel, Real World, History Hit, and a whole bunch of other channels. We also see this on top of the 15 channels last week, which included a bunch of Vivo music channels, now available for free. 30 channels have been added to the Sling Free Stream in the last 2 weeks. Link in the show notes if you want to see all the channels. Speaking of YouTube TV, if you live in the Atlanta area, you're going to notice 2 new channels. Peachtree CW, which replaced the generic CW feed that had been in Atlanta, and Peachtree Sports. This is a new state, local level sports network. It's not really a regional sports network, kind of is. Focuses more on smaller sports, college sports, high school sports that aren't on major television deals. Take a look at this, coming out more sporting content coming to YouTube TV in the greater Atlanta area. And Philo is coming to Vizio TVs. If you're a Philo customer and you own a Vizio TV, no longer will you need to get a Roku or Fire TV or other device to watch Philo. There will be now a native app on Vizio TVs for Philo customers. All right, let's dive into a question of the day. Today's question is, Luke, do you think that there will be a video platform that's big enough to rival YouTube? I like YouTube, but is there ever going to be competition? I think so. We see this all the time in social media, right? We see times where, hey, it looked like MySpace was going to be so dominant, who could ever take on MySpace? Then here comes YouTube. We've seen this in other areas too, that has seen growth. And you see TikTok, for example, moving in on YouTube by now supporting horizontal long-form content. Could they be the new killer? There's other options out there too that's really competing. So I really do think that, yes, it's very possible. Will it happen? We'll see. YouTube has a very established, very loyal base, very good to creators. So we'll see what happens. Well, if you have a question for me and you want me to answer at the end of these videos, leave me a comment down below and start it off with something like a question for Luke, and I'll do my best to answer it in the next video. If I haven't answered it, re-ask it. Maybe I'll answer it in the next video. Until then, take care, be safe. I'll be back again real soon.